Where would you have put it in the server?
I might have lied. I will come clean.
I don't think I've ever heard Rakan say that. Have you got your switches off?
My switches are off.
Good. Had to check. Hello and welcome to Burger and Shawarma Gaming. This is episode number 11. Now, being as it's, episode number 11, I think it's important that introductions are in order. To my left, I have a burger, which is Elise. To my right, I have a shawarma, which is Rakan. And in the middle is me. It's T. And I'm not in the name of this podcast because I don't matter. So, we've got Elise's homework today, and we also have got some news that is pretty important for gaming as a general thing, really. And then Rakan sourced this, as he always does, and I think it'll be quite a good discussion point. So, Elise, Rakan and we're very interested in how you got on with Dishonored, because every time we've asked, she said, "Oh, I can't talk about it. You need to wait for the podcast." And then literally before we start recording, I said, "So did you finish it?" And she just smiles at the camera. So Rakan and I think it's very sus, and we want to know what went on.
Yeah, please do tell Elise what's going on.
Okay, so yes, so I played Dishonored, but I wrote my little snippet thing at the beginning. So I said that I feel like in a very quick one-sentence summary, this game is conspiracy, betrayal, rats, and a whole lot of sleeping darts. Corvo used to be the bodyguard to the Empress, but now he's ... dishonored.
Oh, wow.
Rakan looks very disappointed.
You're serious?
Yeah. But okay, so so both of you know that I do not consider myself to be somebody who gets ragey. Like the worst I'll get is if I'm getting bitten by a bunch of bugs in Deep Rock Galactic. I'm like, "Stop it, you stupid little bugs." And I kind of mumble under my breath. This game made me so angry. We usually record once a week. It has been 3 weeks since the last time we recorded, just because of circumstance. I was fully planning to not finish the game for the recording and was going to talk about why. It took me 2 weeks to be like, okay, just go ahead and finish it. Every time I thought about picking it up, I was just like, "Oh, no, I'm so very salty." So, I have lots to say on that front about the game.
Okay, tell us. Well, go on.
Mate, you just know this is going to be a skill issue. You just know.
I'm just waiting for it now. Okay, Elise.
Why?
What's going on?
So,
tell us.
So, first for you, Jack, because you've not played this game. Yeah. So, essentially, kind of the premise of this game is that it starts with the assassination of the Empress, and her daughter, Emily, gets kidnapped. Corvo, who was their bodyguard, is framed as the culprit, and he's scheduled to be put to death. As Corvo, you escape, and you find a group convinced of your innocence. With them, you save Emily, overthrow a corrupt regime, and try to avoid the plague. However, you might want to beware of your friends, as some of the people closest to you are simply using you as a pawn and waiting for betrayal. Dun dun dun! So that's kind of the premise of the game. Yeah, to shocked face at it, Jack. So, basically with this game, after every mission, why do you look confused, Rakan?
I look confused because I thought Jack played the game before.
No,
man. No,
I've not played it.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Fine. Go on, Elise.
Get ready for some spoilers, Jack. So basically, so every mission that you do, at the end of the mission, you're given kind of a grade sheet, almost, showing you how many special items you picked up, how many were available, and you get a rundown of how many people you killed, how many people you incapacitated, and you get an overall chaos rating. The chaos rating is what dictates the ending that you'll get. There's 3 different endings. And basically, if you have low chaos, I suppose you get the good ending. High chaos, you get the medium ending. And very high chaos, you get just a disaster, effectively. So I had low chaos. Actually, I should forewarn you both. So I made a couple additional notes after I actually went and finished the game. But a good chunk of this I wrote when I was really like... So just be aware. I'm trying to figure out the best way to take you both on this kind of narrative journey. And I figure I'll read you through my angry thoughts in my now very calm tone. So here we go. I had a low chaos rating for every single mission aside from the very first mission, which is called Dishonored. And then there's a mission where you end up getting taken by Dowd, who's the leader of the assassins. And that mission is called Flooded District. The next mission is kind of, I suppose it would be the penultimate mission. You go and you have to re-rescue Emily. And then after you do this mission, you end up going to the final mission. So by this mission, if you have a high or a very high chaos rating, you're just done for completely. And if you don't do well on this mission, you could bump yourself into high or very high for the last mission that you have. So basically, I got there. Turns out Emily's not there. There's a character called Callista who's dead, and I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, that's sad. They basically killed off everybody. These people who betrayed you have killed off everybody. Apparently that's a warning sign. Samuel, who kind of boats you to all of your missions, when I get on his boat, was really mean to me on the boat. He was saying things like, Corvo, you've gone about this all wrong. I don't understand, and all this stuff. And I was sitting there as I'm playing the game thinking like, that was really uncalled for. I feel like I've done a really good job, Samuel. Reel it in, please. And basically, if you had had a low rating, Samuel would be nice to you, and Callista would not be dead. And so this is where my kind of confusion around the game started to come in. Because, like I said, I had only had a high score on 2 of the missions. I now know that, or I'm assuming, I haven't actually looked it up. I think the rating it shows you is your rating overall, not just for that mission. So effectively what that means is I had a low rating for most of the game. That Flooded District mission pushed me over into being a high rating, and that's what made me be high for the very end. I thought it was each individual mission, and they got averaged. So I was raging because I was like, how can I be getting one of the bad endings when 5 or 6 of my 8 missions were low? So I was very, very, very confused. Basically, what I think ended up getting to me the most, every mission you go on, there's a target that you're aiming to kill. I did not kill any of my targets. And as you can tell from my very brief one sentence at the very beginning of saying you go through a whole lot of sleeping darts, I tried to incapacitate as many enemies as I could, because you both know me. I like to try to, ooh, I feel bad, I don't want to hit F, that kind of stuff. So I tried to be very careful. I tried to be sneaky where I could. I put in a lot of effort into playing the character that way.
Elise, I watched you shoot loads of people.
Well,
it
comes with the territory. And actually, you watched me play. What you were watching the other day, especially, was me doing the last mission. And because I had already had high chaos, I was just kind of, you know what, whatever, like just run through it. I just want to see how it ends because my calmness had come back.
Okay.
Like you can hit F on people and still have a low rating. It's just kind of how those things culminate together. I did, however, have 2 missions that I thought were kind of sus, where I think the game thinks I assassinated the target, but I didn't. So there's one mission where you go to a big masquerade party and you have to deal with somebody called Lady Boyle. You can either assassinate her or incapacitate her and send her off on a boat with her lover. I chose to incapacitate her. I put her in the boat, and he said, thank you so much for not killing her. Thank you so much, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the mission marker came up saying, Lady Boyle assassinated. Meanwhile, I'm watching her leave on this boat after I incapacitated her.
Wasn't that the point? Like,
so
to make it seem as if you actually assassinated her.
I think, yes, it is, but I didn't, though. I didn't assassinate. And listen to this next one. There's also a mission where you have to deal with the Lord Regent, and your options are that you can assassinate him, or you can play a message over the loudspeaker, which effectively is political suicide. He just gets demoted on the spot. So I chose to play that message over the loudspeaker. I continued on trying to escape out of the location I was in after I played that message, and effectively I ended up getting a message on the screen at a point saying that the Lord Regent had been assassinated. I thought it was fine because I was like, well, I played the message over the loudspeaker. Maybe the game's just confused, and kept going. But I do wonder if maybe these two weird instances counted against me. I did look on Reddit, and it seems as if basically if the person dies in the mission, regardless of if it has to do with you, it counts as an assassination.
So it could have been a bug.
I think so. Obviously there were times where I had to shoot and kill an enemy or whatever, but I did try to be sneaky and use sleeping darts or incapacitate where possible. There's one thing I did at the very beginning that I think really sets you up quite nicely, and that was you have the choice to poison the plague cure supply. And I just was like, well, I'm here, might as well. And I didn't think about that would count toward my chaos rating. But bear in mind, after that mission, my rating was still rated as low. So, yeah. Anyway,
why did you poison the plague cure?
Because it said to. And I was like, well, I'm right here. It was optional. But I was like, well, I'm standing here, might as well.
Okay, everyone. So, Elise Wow. Okay.
But yeah, so anyways, so these things this is what made me basically, Callista's dead. I didn't know that was a red flag, but it's a red flag. Callista's dead. I summon the boat, and Samuel comes and picks me up and is telling me how unbelievably ashamed he is that I just went on, I made things so much worse than they needed to be. And I was like, what? Because basically, if I'd have tried to play the game quite low-key and just really failed at it, I get it. But I felt like at every chance I had, aside from poisoning the rat plague, at every chance I had to take the path of not harming the person, I did. So I found that's why I was raging at this game. Because I just don't think I don't know. My tallies added up for high chaos, and I just felt like they shouldn't have, I guess. But so now I have finished the game. I've played through all the way to the end. I did the last mission, and yeah, it seemed alright. I can go ahead and give you both kind of my ratings if you like.
Sure, go for it, please. Okay.
Do you have any comments or questions before we proceed?
I think Jack was right. I think this is all just a skill issue.
Oh, well, 100% is, but it just, I don't know, it made me, because I really was enjoying the game quite a bit. I was trying really hard to be little assassin, except I was only assassinating bystanders, not the actual assassination target.
Okay.
But I was taking it quite seriously, and I liked, the story's nothing that extreme. It seems pretty predictable, but I still liked it. So I think when it came to the end and I had that high rating...
Is assassinating bystanders not bad, Elise?
Well, okay, by assassinating bystanders, I mean, like, if I was trying to sneak around and all of a sudden a guard saw me and I had to quick slicey-dicey him, I would. I don't mean, like, right. I just went on rampages.
Okay. I just imagine you're like, why is my chaos so high? And there's like a pile of dead civilians.
No, legitimate. For most of the game, so that first mission, my chaos was high, but that's because it was the very first mission I did. I was getting used to the controls, and that was the only mission it had to compare against. So it was high. Fine. But then nearly every other mission it was low. So I clearly was doing at least a somewhat good job. So that's my thing is, if I had added up to have high chaos earlier in the game, I just think I would have been more understanding. It's the fact that it feels like I went the teeniest step too far and ended up in the high chaos region.
Just a step too far, meaning like when you poisoned the plague cure.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit
kind of
significant, Elise. I don't know, but it's just.
Well, you're supposed to. You got to get rid of the guys who are. What do they call them? It's like a gang that they're making the plague cure, and so it's like, oh, you can wipe out this gang. I figured if I wipe out the gang, that it would help the city.
It's plague cure.
It's not for everybody, because your health potion in the game is plague cure. So there's clearly more than one supply of it.
Okay.
No.
It makes me think of, mate, you know when you walk out of the vault in Fallout 3, and one of the first things you can do is blow up Megaton?
Right.
I feel like that's what Elise did.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. But yeah, I think I feel like if I'd have done that one thing different, I would have had a low chaos rating.
Let's hear your rating, Elise.
Yeah,
Not the chaos rating, your rating for the games.
Well, in case anybody hasn't gathered yet, I had a high chaos rating overall. Okay, so to run back through my categories for the story, I wrote 8. I said that it's somewhat predictable, but it did have a lot of action and somewhat unique aspects, like the fact that on top of, the Empress's daughter has been kidnapped and you've been framed, you also had the plague aspect going with it. So I thought that adding in stuff like that helped to make it a bit unique, as well as I felt like there was really engaging themes of political corruption, fighting for what's right, and I felt like those helped make up for kind of that predictable aspect to the story. For the music, I gave it a 3. I feel like it didn't particularly stick out during the gameplay to me. I'm not going to go back and seek it out to listen to it again like I would with some of the other games. Types of enemies, I said 6. There's lots of different types of enemies. It's mostly guards and kind of, ruffians running around the city, or just regular civilians, if you're me. Yes, I gave it a 6 because there is some variety, but for the most part it is fighting the guards, fighting the bad guys, that kind of thing. For fighting, I said it's a 9. I think it was really varied depending on your style. You could go for stealth, you could go for incapacitation, you could go for destruction, and you could use different powers to help you do that. Yeah, anyway, okay. This is where I got bitter when I wrote my original notes. Do you want to hear what I wrote?
Mm-hmm.
So for performance, I originally said 10. Nothing inhibited my experience. And I wrote that down kind of mid-gameplay. I just had that thought and was like, you know what? I think this game has great performance. But then I felt like the rating system was not doing very well. Like if I sucked, I would hold it up and say, I had to go in guns a-blazing. I caused a lot of chaos, fair enough. But I did try to spare every target. I felt like I did well with the stealth for all but 2 missions, and I aimed to have stealth. It just got overwhelming at points, and so I do not feel like the rating of the chaos was fair, and so I rate it a 3 for performance. I take that back. I think it just,
Skill
I think
issue.
I made errors. Well, I don't think it's even a skill issue. I made choices. Like, it really wasn't a skill issue. I feel like overall I did fine at the game. I just made a few choices that
I saw
impacted
how you would try and execute people. You'd go up to them.
No,
and
Jack, that's not executing. That's incapacitating. When you go up behind them, you have the choice to either hold the right bumper, which is effectively you're kind of putting them in a chokehold and making them pass out, or you can hit F on them and assassinate them from behind. If I was able to sneak up behind them, I was incapacitating them. I'm telling you, I did not kill
And you found out
many of them.
Doing that meant your chaos would be less than if you just hit F.
I felt like, I don't know if it said anywhere explicitly, but I felt like it was implied. Like, the more people you kill, the higher the chaos is. So I was like, well, I'll incapacitate then. I'll use sleep darts. And you can hear them, like, after you incapacitate them, they start snoring. The body gets marked as unconscious, not dead. So, no, but if that's what you're thinking of, that was me incapacitating basically everybody that I could.
It just makes me think of when I played Red Dead 1, outside the bank in Blackwater, I had about 20 people inside, all hogtied. And then the police would come in and I'd hogtie them, kept getting more and more and more. And that's just what I picture your thing would be like. It is. You just got people on the floor all going.
Basically, yeah. Oh yeah. So I think, I mean, obviously I'm not going to stick with that original performance rating of a 3. I think I'll say probably like an 8 or a 9. I do still, because it, especially repeating about those 2 missions to the 2 of you, Rakan, the fact that you said that sounds kind of buggy, that makes me think that maybe there is a bit of a bug with the games.
Bug.
So maybe I shouldn't give it a 10, but yeah, overall, not too bad.
Were you playing it on the 1 or X?
X.
Oh, okay.
Jack has been really into playing RuneScape still, for the most part. So I could play the X whenever I wanted.
Okay. Fair enough.
And then for price, obviously I played it off of Game Pass, but I looked it up, and the game by itself is £10. Or from, when I Googled this a couple weeks ago, it was £10. That doesn't seem too bad for... It's really quite... Excellent. I feel like it's a pretty quick game. It didn't take, there's only 9, I think, missions overall. They each take, I don't know, maybe about an hour-ish, depending how you play it. It's not overly lengthy.
Okay.
So, but clearly you can play the game differently, because you could do better than me and get low chaos. Graphics, going based off of Jack's definition of asking myself if I'm impressed, I think I'll go middle of the road. I think I'll say about 5. I did really like the animation style. It reminded me quite a bit of the movie Atlantis, the Disney cartoon. What do you think, Rakan?
How? How did that remind you of Atlantis?
Not the people, but the places. I felt like it was Atlantis-y.
The guards and stuff made me think of, what's the League of Legends Netflix show?
Arcane.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, it made me think of that.
No, I can see that, yeah, but I don't see how that could remind you of Atlantis. Obviously, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've played the game, so maybe I need to go and have a look at it again.
Yeah. Obviously not, like the mythical, magical, under the water city, but
you mean
the
just
main...
the art style?
Yeah, the art style. Like the mainland cities, yeah. For concept, I said I would give the concept a 10. I really loved the use of mana, and my favorite mana powers were blinking, which is where you can effectively teleport within a half a second, and dark vision, which lets you see through walls. You can view the sightline of the enemies that are around you, and you can find important objects that way. So I really enjoyed those. My enjoyment playing was an 8, and so overall, I think I'll give it, going back and kind of accounting for the fact that I've adjusted my performance rating.
I mean, that's hashtag quick maths.
Well, so the thing is, I had written down a 6.5, but that's because of the performance rating, how I had given the performance a 3. I don't
give
think
it an 8.
6.5. I don't know if I would... See, so the thing is, now... Because we're on episode 11 and we've done quite a few games, now I'm contrasting what else I recall giving an 8 to. Okay. And I'm pretty sure I gave Prey an 8, I think.
Did you like it more or less than Prey?
Probably a little less. So I guess maybe I'll say like a 7.5. Yeah, I freaking loved Prey.
Okay.
Freaking loved it. I did quite like this game as well, though. So, yeah, it's kind of... I almost feel like I need to come up with a ranking of... Not numerically, but just keeping track of which games I've put where.
Relative.
Yeah, relative to one another, yeah.
Where was Bugsnax?
10.
Bugsnax. What did I give Bugsnax? I don't remember.
That's a 10.
That's a 10. No, I definitely didn't give it a 10. I don't remember.
Well, I'm just trying to think of what the caliber of games is right now. You got Red Dead at the top. Modern Warfare was like, I don't even want to think about what you gave that. because you had to apologize.
It is burned into my. I did not apologize. Go back and listen to episode 2. I did not apologize. I gave Modern Warfare campaign a 6.5. I rated Monster Hunter the lowest. The Monster Hunter has been the lowest so far. And you're right, Red Dead has been the highest. But as we get more games going, they're going to double up on what number I give them. So that's why I think it could be good.
Do you think you want to play the second one?
Potentially. I think depending... I mean, Rakan, have you played it?
Yes, I have, yeah. I think
Is it worth playing?
It is. It is definitely worth playing. I think it's an improvement on the first Dishonored. Now, I'm not sure about the third one. I'm not sure. Actually, I don't even remember if I played that one. But the second one, yes. I think... excuse me. If you enjoyed playing the first one, then... the second one is a must to try at least. At least to try it, at least. Just have a little peek and see what's going on. I think it's pretty good. To me, honestly, I think Dishonored is a way better of an experience if I want to compare it to Prey. I don't know. That's just me, but I think Dishonored, in terms of the execution of the idea, how innovative it is when it comes to the systems and the whole magic system, it's on a different level than Prey. That's why I was a bit surprised when you said you enjoyed Prey more than Dishonored. But just to make it clear, I played both games when they just came out. And obviously Dishonored came out way, way before Prey.
Yeah, fair enough. I think what's important to remember is when we talked about Prey, I had just played it. Because we had a delay in recording, it's been 3 weeks since I started the Dishonored game and played most of it. And obviously, it really, going into that final mission really irked me. Because I felt like that's not how I had played the game. And like I had, for all intents and purposes, met the criteria for low rating. Obviously now in hindsight, fine. Like it doesn't matter. But so I don't know. I think that just impacted some of my perception, I suppose. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think.
But yeah, maybe we can have that for homework sometime down the line, number 2.
I think before we move on to Rakan's news, I think I'd just like to let the listeners know that Elise played a game off Games for Gold, and I was in the bedroom. She comes in and she's just crying. She just cries over all the games, man. Like, and it's some little side scroller game, and she's just crying about it.
Beautiful game, Rakan. I recorded some of my gameplay for it, so you can put it in the background of one of the YouTube videos if you want.
Okay.
Oh god, it was just so gosh dang cute. It's called Hoa, Hoa. And yeah, it's just one where you just go along, you solve little puzzles. You just go along and solve little puzzles, and it was just so cute. And I don't know why, but the story for it just got to me. Like, the story wasn't super in depth, but it was just moving. You had to, it doesn't matter, but.
She comes in. Can I have a hug?
I thought it was really powerful. Like the last, you do the puzzles kind of in sections. So the last section is you taking your character to like the spirit realm. It was really sad.
What was more sad? Owa getting clapped or Arthur dying?
Obviously Arthur.
Oh. So what you're saying is Ho is meaningless.
Yeah, if those are the, you know what? It's a good thing you're not a quantitative researcher. If that's the way you would set up your scale.
Shots fired. So, mate,
yeah.
Do you want to take us on to the news? Because I think some of it's quite. Would you like to start with the prices, or would you like to start with the other one?
I mean, we could get over the prices. Thing. As you said in the beginning of this episode, I mean, these two bits of news that I'm going to talk about today to me, and I think to you, Jack, are going to be a bit important. I was salty. I was definitely salty about both of them. Maybe one more than the other, but we'll see. So, Mortal Kombat 1, the latest Mortal Kombat, have been announced. And for some reason, the publisher of that game decided to set the price point of that game on the Nintendo Switch for $70. Now, could you imagine Nintendo running Mortal Kombat, the latest Mortal Kombat? Could you just imagine the performance? And then
I think I could cook an egg on it.
Exactly. And for them to ask you to pay them $70. Now, let's just think about it for a second. Why did the newest gen just out of nowhere started asking for $70? The whole excuse was like, oh, you're getting better performance. You can run the game on like 4K, 120 FPS, and I can accept that, even though I'm not happy about it, but I could accept it. But Nintendo over here, it's
on a Switch.
On a Switch? Like, why are you asking me for $70? Come on. I don't think it can even run full HD. Am I right, Elise? It doesn't run on full HD, no?
I don't know, but what I'm thinking of is, isn't there a whole stereotype, or maybe not stereotype is the right word, but it's like a meme that Nintendo games are just notoriously expensive and the price never drops? Don't try waiting for a sale. It's not going to come.
Got a point.
Yeah, fair, but that's for Nintendo games. And yes, that is true.
Well, okay, by Nintendo games, I mean games on the Nintendo Switch. Or maybe it is just Nintendo games.
I think it's just Nintendo games. So people are obviously just mad about it. Like, okay, one, there is no way I'm going to get, what's it called? The Mortal Kombat on the Switch. Because why would I?
Yeah, why would you do that?
Yeah, why would I? Someone else might come and say, well...
secretly like,
Someone else could come and say, well, I might want to play Mortal Kombat when I'm out of the house or something like that, right?
It just sounds like the thingy conference again. Don't you guys have phones?
No.
Don't you want portable gaming?
I mean...
I think it...
Yeah, go on, Elise.
I was just going to say, it doesn't make me think of, oh, maybe you want to play Mortal Kombat on the go. What it makes me think of is that thinking of maybe there's some kind of cross-section of people who only have Switches, who might also be within the target audience of Mortal Kombat. So they're just kind of stuck. You either go out and you buy a whole new console to play the game, where you're buying the console and the game, or you pay for an inflated version of the game on the console you already have.
Two arguments for that, Elise. Good points, but two arguments. One, with the same people, the same demographic of people that only have a Switch would be looking at games like Mortal Kombat and stuff like that.
Probably pretty small, but yeah. It was just a thought.
And here's the thing. There are some news circling around basically saying that the game would be online only. So you can't, even the offline mode, you need to be connected to the internet to actually play the game. So if that's the case, what's the point of getting it on the Switch? Because if I'm playing it on the go, the chances are I wouldn't be connected to the internet. Therefore, I wouldn't be able to play the game in the first place. The game that cost $70. Like, I don't know. Me personally, I don't like that. I really do not like that. Now, keep in mind, there are not a lot of games.
It's tough, man.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got things like Game Pass.
Exactly. Not just that. I think Sony has a conference today, and they're going towards the whole cloud gaming thing. I'm not sure if it's going to be down the path of Game Pass or something like that. But you can see the whole industry going down that path where they just pay us this amount of money for the month and you'd get access to this library. That's it, you know. And it will only become more popular, unfortunately, even though it might not be the best thing for the developers. But, you know, consumers like it. I mean, I know for a fact that we really abuse the whole Game Pass library, don't we? But it is what it is. The thing is, and the other thing, when it comes to this Mortal Kombat, there are not a lot of games that cost $70. If I'm not mistaken, only the latest Zelda game costs $70 on the Nintendo library. But it's
price point's normally $59.99, isn't it?
Yeah,
or something like that.
So if I'm gonna pay, if I have $70 to spare, am I gonna get Zelda or am I going to get Mortal Kombat? Chances
Zelda.
are, people
come on, man.
I'm just gonna get Zelda.
But the thing is, because you can just get Mortal Kombat 10 or whatever it is,
right? Yeah,
like it's not that different, surely. And to be fair, Mortal Kombat's on Game Pass.
Is it? Oh yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I feel like our entire podcast is a giant advertisement for Game Pass. We talk about it every week.
It's I love
so
it.
good.
Hey, Windows, wink, wink. We're looking for sponsors over here.
Serious. I think the whole reason that we're able, you both want me to try a new game every week. It's the whole reason we're able to expand out and have so many options.
Yeah. So that's that when it comes to Mortal Kombat. Now, to be fair, I know there are die-hard Mortal Kombat fans. At one point, I was one of them. I was really invested in the whole story and stuff. I wanna know what happens to the characters. That's all fine, but there is no way I'm going to pay $70 to play that game on an objectively underpowered console. It's just not going to happen. If I'm going to compare Nintendo Switch to the PS5, PS4 even, possibly PS3, why would I go with the Switch? I'd rather go, I don't know. When I think of the Switch, I don't think of Mortal Kombat. No, you don't.
It's the same as when they used to put like Call of Duty on the DS. But why would you do that?
Oh yeah, that was a meme, now, wasn't it?
Yeah, why would you do that? Like,
I don't know.
I think of Mario Kart, or I think of, I don't know, Animal Crossing, or something like Viva Pinata. I don't know.
Did you say Viva Pinata?
Say what?
Viva Pinata?
Yeah, Viva Pinata. Is that not wrong? Is that wrong?
I'm not sure that's even a thing, but okay.
It is. It was a game where you plant the animal and then you hit F on it. Like, do you not remember that game?
No.
Oh, bro. Right, Viva Pinata was you have to grow that out. I remember there was a little bee and I built a house. The two bees go in, they make a baby bee, and then job done. It was like, you remember that slime rancher game?
Right, yeah.
Imagine that, but with Pinata. And then you hit F on it, like you whack it.
Okay. Okay.
I swear. It's not some like hallucination.
But for a second, I thought you were talking about FIFA Pinata. So a crossover of FIFA, the football game, and the Pinata. I was like,
you might be onto something there, mate. You might be onto something.
But no, yeah, Viva Pinata. I might need to have a look at this and see what's up.
It's a really cute game. I was like, I know, 11. It was good.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's that when it comes to the whole Mortal Kombat thing. Me, just a final note. I'm a bit worried that this is going to be the norm, where they'll just...
It will be.
Yeah.
It will be, for sure.
Look, I get it. It's fine. Even though it's not really that justified to increase the prices of the games, that you can just release them for $60 instead of $70. I get if you want to say, hey, if you want to play it with the... best sort of graphical quality, 4K, 120 FPS, all that kind of stuff, fine. Like, sure, go for it. At least there's an excuse. But if you're going down the path of, yeah, I'm gonna ask for $70, and I expect you to pay $70, even though you'll be playing it on a console like Switch, that's when I'm gonna be a bit more salty. But hey, we'll see how that goes. So. Oh, let's talk about this. Overwatch 2.
You're not happy about
Oh, no, mate. Oh, no. It's, have you, before I go into the news, I just want to ask you guys, have you watched some videos? Have you read some news? No? Elise is shaking her head no.
Just listen to the meme. I'm already Winston.
That's Overwatch?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is, Winston is a character in Overwatch.
I wanna be Winston. Bastion. Overwatch.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yes, you're right, Elise.
I want to be Winston.
That was years ago.
That was ages ago.
Anyways,
yeah, that was ages.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, so
Throwback.
I'll give you a small story, like just a brief story, a little story, a background story on Overwatch 2.
I hope you're all sitting comfortably.
Yeah.
And Rakan will begin.
Now, I'm pretty sure that I might be a bit inaccurate when it comes to the background, but here is how it goes. So, there was this game called Overwatch, right? It's a champion arena type of game. So each character had very special abilities and very specific roles to play in the arena. You'd have the normal tanks, you'd have the normal supporters, aka healers, and the damage dealers, the DPS characters. Over the years, those characters have been increasing, those characters have been optimized more, they've been nerfed, they've been buffed, all that kind of stuff. There was a point where Overwatch was the game. If you want to play an arena, a champion arena type of game, it's just Overwatch. Like, you wouldn't even think about it. You wouldn't even need to look at any other game. It was that good. I'm pretty sure at one point it was like the best esport game. I might be wrong, but I think it was.
Really?
Yeah. Or at least
I can buy that.
Yeah. Or at least on, on the top
game.
Yeah. So, Blizzard.
It's high noon.
Okay. So, Blizzard, in all its wisdom, was like, okay, boys, I'm going to be releasing Overwatch 2. And people are like, what? Overwatch? What are you talking about? Wait. Just, why would you? Okay, fine, sure. Overwatch 2, huh? So, what is that? What is Overwatch 2? I mean, surely it can
money.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jack. Yeah. I like money. It's like, so people are like, hey, Overwatch 2. I mean, surely you don't need to make a whole new game. You can just expand the game that we have right now. It's the game that we have is just fine. So I'll just put it this way for the people that never played Overwatch. It's just me saying, hey, we have World of Warcraft, right? I'd come out and say, how about I make World of Warcraft 2? People will be like, what do you mean? Just expand on the game that we have right now, right? You can just, there's no point in making World of Warcraft 2. What is the point, right? It's not like there's a story that ended and you need to, basically continue on it. It's just, no, just make it bigger, make it better. Blizzard comes and say, no. Now, there's a reason that there should be an Overwatch 2. Because I'll be introducing a fully fledged PvE mode, a story mode, right? Jack is cringing hard, but people are invested in those characters. They want to know what's going on. They want to play their whole stories and stuff. I could see myself playing it, to be honest. Anyways, so that was the whole excuse of, making Overwatch 2, where you'd have characters, they would have skills that you'd be able to upgrade. There's a whole ton of replayability when it comes to the missions. At least they make it sounded like that's going to be the case. People are like, oh, fair enough. Yeah, I'm down. I could support that. Yeah, sure, go for it. Overwatch 2. So be it. At least we'll get a whole PvE mode, like a full-on PvE mode. linear stories and all that kind of stuff. So you could imagine yourself being like, hey, I want to see how Winston became a, I don't know, this genius gorilla for some reason, right? It's just, whatever it is, people were like, yeah, I'm down. I'm behind that. They sold the idea. And my guy, they sold it hard. The marketing behind Overwatch 2 was insane. I can't even imagine how much they spent on marketing Overwatch 2. And they were like, if you already bought Overwatch 2, you'll get a free upgrade to Overwatch 2. So if you had Overwatch 1, you'd automatically have the Overwatch 2 version of the game, right? Little did we know that they'll be scrapping Overwatch 1 and you'll be stuck with Overwatch 2. But Elise is shook it. But at that point, it's like, fine, absolutely fine. So Overwatch 2 comes out, you log in. That's strange. This feels like Overwatch 1, but with less features. Hey, keep Elise. No, it's just. This is not the bad bit. This is not the bad part yet. No.
Well, exactly, because I thought Overwatch 2 came out a while ago.
Sort of. A couple of months ago, but yeah, not that.
Yeah. So I'm waiting.
The prank is incoming.
Yeah, this is not a prank yet. So, so they're like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on, guys. We're working on it. The PvE mode that we promised you is coming. We're working on it. Relax. For now, just play Overwatch 1 in Overwatch 2, but with less features. And people are like, oh, fine, sure. Yeah, thank you, bro. Okay, I'll just do that.
Winning.
Still sold on the whole PvE idea, on the whole PvE mode. Lo and behold, 3 days ago, Blizzard comes out and says, well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we just canceled the whole PvE mode. It's just not coming anymore. It's just not coming, boys.
What do you mean you paid for it? What do you mean you wanted something
Exactly.
you paid for? That's not how this works.
And people are like, hey, wait a minute. Isn't the whole Overwatch 2, the whole point of Overwatch 2 was the PvE mode? Like, yeah, but we cancelled it. So what? No, to be fair, they tried to bamboozle their way out of it by saying people are taking this whole announcement out of context. We didn't cancel the PvE mode. Would still be releasing snippets of the PvE mode. There are some stories that you could play. So, in essence, we didn't really lie. A big doubt.
The intern is like getting fired out of a cannon.
People are like, boys, no, don't even try this. This is not going to happen. This is a big fuck up, Blizzard. Like, no. What's the point of the 2 next to the Overwatch? Just take us back. Just take us back to the good old Overwatch times. I don't want the 2. No. Still, at this point, people are like, yeah, I'm a bit salty, but sure. I mean, still, it is still Overwatch in essence. Now, here is where I and many other people like me are really salty. Because some of the bits that were introduced in Overwatch 2 was... Could you give a guess? Could you guess, guys? Quick guess. What do you think Blizzard introduced in the Overwatch 2? Starts with a B.
Bitches.
Well, yeah, I wish they introduced bitches. It's a bitch, but they introduced the Battle Pass, boys. Microtransaction. Heavy microtransactions. So.
I thought it would be a microtransaction.
Here is the problem, though. Some of the characters were locked behind a paywall. And, yes, Jack, I know. And people were buying those characters in the hope of playing them in the PvE mode. So
That's bad, man.
for them to come out and be like, yeah, there's no PvE mode. I'm sorry, boys. You've been bamboozled. I was fuming, my guy. I was fuming. Surely you cannot get away with this. Like, you cannot get away with this. That is
Your senses are tingling.
It's like that's
lawsuit.
That's the problem. I don't think that they'd be hit with anything, to be honest. It's just
Is it not consumer rights?
could be, but I don't.
I mean, their lawyers are going to be like prepared.
Exactly, yeah. And the thing is, it's going to be very hard to prove that the reason
You said you promised us a PvE mode. What PvE mode?
Okay.
What about all these ads? What ads?
No, yeah, you're right. It's just sad times, sad
somber,
times.
really.
Yeah, it's really sad times for us.
Yeah. At least you can still cosplay as Tracer.
I mean, you could try. I mean, sure. If that makes you feel happy.
I think you'd look
go
good.
for it. Who, me?
Yeah, man. If you had to pick, who would you be?
I'd be Bastion, maybe. I don't know. It seems quite easy to cosplay him. Just a couple of boxes and
You need to nerf him.
Just think, I can see Elise a bit confused. Bastion is a robot. He's a bit.
But yeah, I have no idea what any of these characters look
My
like.
knowledge is very limited to Elise.
Yeah.
Elise, earlier on in your introduction, I wanted to say this. So you was like, oh, and how he is Dishonored. I was going to say, so if you had to pick a word that would name your life, like as a game, what would you pick?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, look at that.
Name my life as a game. Yeah, I need a second to think. Do you have one
Well,
you would
Rakan, same
use?
for you, mate. What would you pick? What would you name your life? Is it a game? One word.
Yeah, I might need to think of that, man.
Okay. I just thought it could be a good thing to... Cause
No, it is.
Dishonored, all of these kind of things. Like, I feel like a lot of the games that we play have already got one word in them.
But there are so many games. I don't know. It's quite hard to.
What would you call yours, Jack?
The what came to mind first of all was what with a question mark. What?
Nice.
I would probably want to come up with something
Do you have
quite
a
witty,
reason
clever.
for what?
I think just because it's like quite confusing. Like, it doesn't really make much sense. Like, you know when you have a dream and you wake up where it's like, you know that you could do anything? Like, you know when you wake up and the plot of your dream made perfect sense in your head, but when you wake up, you're like, yeah, that makes no sense. Well, I think that describes my life quite well. But why did you make that decision, bro? Why did you do that?
Well, going off of who, what, when, where, I think if I picked within that, just because that's a narrower box to think within, I think I would pick where.
Oh, yeah, because you've gone everywhere.
Well, not
That's
really,
good.
but I've lived a few places.
She's like a stray cat.
Fair enough.
Mate, I think I might know the title of your game.
What is it?
It's Suffering from Success.
DJ Khaled.
Yeah, boy.
Okay. I mean, that would conclude my the whole news segment. There are some stuff there is this game that I wanted to talk about. Just came out of nowhere, to be honest. Do you remember this movie? I think this movie called Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
That's a really old movie, man.
Yes, mate. So they made a game. They made a Starship Trooper game.
Really?
Yes. It just came out of nowhere.
Who made it?
I'm not sure. I think it's...
Is it indie?
I wouldn't know, mate. I haven't researched it that much. I just I just downloaded it and played it. It's quite, it's a fun game. Really fun to play.
It's a meme, the film.
Yes, the whole film is
like a meme.
Yes, it is. It is a meme.
Hasn't it? Is Starship Trooper, is that the one with Will Smith in it?
No.
Or he's in, maybe I'm thinking of Independence Day.
Yeah, maybe.
He's in one of the Alien movies.
Yes.
He's in Independence Day.
Yeah, it was like his really early career. Like, could you imagine if he slapped on the aliens like he did Chris Rock?
To be fair, I've not seen that movie for a very long time, but I most definitely have an image in my head of Will Smith in the desert with an alien that he's kind of knocked out of the air from their spaceship, and I'm about 95% sure that I think he punches it.
Wait, Elise. So what you're saying right now is that Chris Rock is alien? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is maybe there's a trend of behavior to be observed.
Oh, I see. So we should have looked like 30 odd years ago and be
or
like, this is sus, bro. This is violent.
Here's a research question that nobody should take seriously. Do actors learn from the characters they portray how to behave in real life?
So what you're getting at there, Elise, is does art imitate life or does life imitate art? So like when we look at someone like Leonardo DiCaprio, when he's Wolf of Wall Street and he's just crawling around because he's like high as a kite. You cut to him after the set and he's just out of his tree. He's just gone.
I can see Chris Rock being one of the aliens in the Men in Black movies, especially those in the...
I know the ones you're on about. Yeah, man, I know exactly the ones you're on about. The ones who live in that shop.
Yes, mate, yes.
I don't know if he's tall enough for them, mate.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I have a badly described game for you boys.
Oh,
really?
Before we leave.
Okay. Let's go for it.
Let's see if we can get it.
Yeah, see how quick. A savage alien species attacks Earth, believes in waiting its turn.
XCOM. Ha!
Yeah, well done.
Oh, well done, mate. Well done.
It's so easy.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Mate, I might not give it Elise's homework, but I'd love to see Elise do a campaign or something like that.
I've played part of one, but
I just think it would be really funny. But that was a long time ago, Elise.
Yeah,
before
it was
you
years
were a pro gamer.
Okay, let's not go throwing around.
I just think it could be quite funny, especially if we could have like a little bit of, and if we got Elise to take notes. Maybe she got attached to some of the characters and stuff like that she makes.
Well, I would, because I would make all of us.
I'm gone.
We're so dead.
This is just so wrecked.
So how did you die, bro? Oh, you ran onto a grenada. Your own grenade. That would be classic XCOM.
I don't know.
Well, we can see.
No, we'll have to have a little peek. Think about what we might set Elise for homework.
Yeah, we'll have a look. If it was me, I mean, I'd hope Elise would be able to play something like Stellaris or something like that, but I'm not sure she's really into those kind of games.
Yeah, to be fair, the console port is really good.
We can decide later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll wrap us up then.
Yeah.
So, that was episode 11. Today, we had Elise's homework on Dishonored. We had news about $70 price tag for a game, and whether or not we thought that would be acceptable, especially if it's something like going on the Switch and the hardware limitations. And then we also had the debacle of Overwatch 2 and losing its PvE mode. So, thank you for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Overwatch 2?
Oh, Rakan.
What?
Do you also still have... Jesus Christ.